It's been a while, right? It's been a strange few weeks. It's kind of hard to explain about the story, so let's start from the top. This is made on the road. I got it straight out. So, a month ago, which is when I stopped uploading on this channel, I was down in London. I got a call from my dad. He said, I'm trying to move the bus. How the hell do I start this thing? And he turned the key, and it just, nothing happened. I could hear it going in the background, and I was like, oh God. And he was like, I think I flooded it. I think I've just put my foot on the accelerator. So I didn't think anything of it. I was like, cool, just come back in like an hour, try it out, check again, it's fine. Anyway, comes back an hour later, still doesn't work. So I'm like, oh no. So I come back from London and I give it a go, like myself, how I normally start it. Starts first time. I'm normally like, oh, first time every time. I'm always like joking about it. See, I've got a problem with the bus. A problem that I don't know how fixable it's gonna be. Luckily on my insurance, I have cover for people to come out. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Holliday?
It is, yeah, speaking.
Hello, my name's Andy from Hampton's Recovery.
He thinks it's the fuel pump, which isn't good. The fuel pump is not the thing you want to go, because in a vehicle like this it's really difficult. It normally means dropping the fuel tank, and I was just seeing pound signs just like dropping out of my wallet. The guy did say to me that he did a job like this previously on like a long-wheeled Ford Transit kind of van, and the job was like £800. So then he drops the news that the only way that we're gonna get the bus back to get fixed is to get it essentially put on the back of a lorry and winched there. This guy says, call up the next morning. This is on a Sunday, by the way, so obviously people aren't wanting to come out. And he says, call first thing in the morning on Monday, and we will get out to you ASAP. So I'm there on the phone, like as soon as they open, 8 AM, I'm on the phone, calling them, booking the appointment. They don't turn up till 4 in the afternoon. They didn't see it as an emergency because I was at my parents' house, so I had shelter. And I was like, guys, like I have my biggest job yet, which was working with Yamaha. Okay, so here's the bus. Here's the lorry that's gonna get the bus out, but look, we've got all these trees, and yeah, chap's just gone down to have a look to see if it's going to be doable. However, this breakdown meant that I was on Monday, it was Monday afternoon, like 4:30, when this guy was turning up and he was like, it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight.
I'm going to ring our lot, see what they say.
So anyway, I'm kind of like trying to keep my cool, being like, what will be, will be. And at the same time, my heart's pounding and I'm like, no, don't let Yamaha down as your first job with Made on the Road.
You know where your Susie coupling is, where we can plug in to get air?
It's going to be anywhere. It'll probably be under here. The tanks are under this side here. The guy looks very nervous to get this bus out of here. I don't know whether I just need to find a HGV mechanic, but I feel like by not having it at a garage, the whole process is just going to take longer. I've just got no idea what to do. I just want somebody to just give me some news, some like positive, like I can help you kind of vibe, because everyone just is seeming like, you know when you feel like you've not got anyone that wants to help you? That's how I'm feeling right now, so he's just on his phone.
We're going to have to jump in.
Yeah.
Try and turn your steering this way. I'm going to chain mine jacks up and we're going to have to pull it forward.
This pipe's filling the bus up with air because the bus has got air brakes. With air brakes, you need air to release the brakes. So obviously this guy can't tow me up if we can't fill up the air tanks and get this thing filled. So yeah, that's what we're doing here, and hopefully we'll be able to drag it out, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to make the job on Wednesday, so yeah, at least he's here, he's picking it up. We get it winched there and it's dark by the time we get there. It was an absolute nightmare, and then I got there and I lost my keys. Right, so we're at the place now that the guys are hopefully going to service it and work out what the problem is tomorrow. Just reversing it into this little gap here. So I somehow lost my keys to the bus. So I've got an immobilizer, which means that it's like an alarm that stops you from starting your bus unless you disarm it. Obviously I didn't have it, so I'm driving around, like checking all the places that I stopped on the way there, and I get back to here. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't have the immobilizer, so although the bus is there, they can't move it into the garage to fix it. I was like, I cannot believe this after this day. And as I'm pulling into the drive, I stop and just have one final look where I knew was the first time I kind of got out of my car to help the guy pull the bus out. Out of the corner of my eye, I spot this guy and I'm like, oh, hey man, how you doing? I've never known him before, but he obviously lives in a house down here, so I was being friendly with him. And he was like,
what have you lost?
And I was like, oh, I've had the worst day, and my bus/house has been towed away. I lost my keys, they can't get it in the garage, and I'm just not sure what to do. And he was like,
your keys are in my pocket, mate.
And I was like, what? And he pulls out my keys and I dropped them, like as I'd left. So that was like silver lining to the end of the day. I was like, great. They then start fixing the bus. They find out what the problem is. There's a hole in my fuel line that goes to the engine, and it was drawing in air. So there's too much air in the engine, which can be really bad. Luckily, nothing has happened, and it was just air in the system, so there was no fuel. So I was like, okay, not the end of the world. They pump all the air out, which takes ages. It took them 12 man-hours in terms of like what they were going to charge me. But man, Allenby MOT services, like in Lincoln, sorted me out, and they only charged me for 6 hours as well. They really looked after me, and essentially all it was just a bit of pipe, and it still cost me 350, I think it was 350 or 380 pounds to fix that, just for a bit of air. Most expensive bit of air I think I've ever had. So that was okay, but at this point it's Wednesday evening, and I was meant to be starting the job with Yamaha on the Wednesday, so that's obviously gone capiche. Head off down to Brighton on the Friday, get down there to start my second biggest job ever. In fact, it's my biggest paying job ever. Essentially, get down there, start doing the filming and the prep work. I've got another video guy that I hired over for the job as well, so he was there. First day, smashed it. Really excited, really good. Essentially, I'm writing a songwriting course for a college in Brighton, and I'm also making all the video content to go with that. It's like a digital course, it's pretty cool. Over the moon, so that night we celebrate, go to bed, wake up in the morning like, oh, a bit of sort of like spilt beer on the floor, didn't think anything of it, open my laptop to start doing some work, and my keyboard's not working. I open it up and I'm like, that's weird. Reboot it, hoping for the best. Still can't log in, like keyboard just not responsive. Somebody had obviously spilt a beer on my Mac, and they'd obviously like wiped it, but they hadn't switched it off, like none of that. So overnight it's just sort of like fried itself. Go to take it into the Apple store, they say, yeah, your keyboard's £480 to fix it. I'm like, okay, this is on a Saturday. But I like send it in, I'm just gonna have to do it and work out how the hell I'm gonna edit this job, because 10 days is what they quoted, and they said it's likely to be 10 days because we've got a lot of jobs at the minute. Second biggest job, no idea how I'm going to complete it. I can film it, but I don't know what else I'm going to be able to do. Get to the job, and I'm calling my insurance company for the bus to be like, yeah, something's happened with my laptop. I know I've got contents insurance. Turns out my contents insurance is for everything in the bus, but not gadgets. So anyway, like, I understand, again, it's my fault. I get to the college, you know, a bit downhearted, but I've got 4 45-minute interviews on camera, and I'm like, right, let's just smash it, let's do it. And my sight starts going really weird as soon as I walk into the building, and I think that's probably when the moment, like, my stress, like, fully hit. My tunnel, you know when you stand up too quickly? It's like I had that feeling for 4 hours. I've just never felt anything like it. I was, like, battling with that, like, trying not to pass out. My eyes were going, like, tunnel vision, like, whatever I looked at, like, that's all I saw. If I held my hands out, I couldn't see my left hand, but I could see my right hand, so I was like, oh god, this is bad. Get through the interviews. So I man through it, and I get to the evening, and I'm kind of feeling a bit better. I'm feeling like my eyes are still really weird. I still can't see my left hand, but I'm like, I just need to sleep. I've got a banging headache. So go to bed, wake up the next day, lying in bed thinking, oh, I feel so much better. And I stand up, and I still can't see my left hand, and I go really dizzy, and I'm like, oh god, this isn't good. Call up the 111 number, which in the UK is like medical advice. Call them up. She's asking me questions about whether or not I'm having a stroke. She said,
I really think you need to get to a, like, you know, emergency services, like, in the hour.
So I'm like, God, like someone that doesn't go to the doctor. Like I've now got to go to like an emergency department, and they send me to like an eye department, and I have like this machine like put on my eye to like measure pressure inside my eye, all sorts of weird things. And I spend 4 hours essentially waiting to see the person that I'm, you know, there to really see. Let us know if you're going to pass out, let us know if you're going to be sick. It doesn't look like there's anything immediately kind of happening. And in that 4 hours, I do start to feel better. My phone died, so I wasn't looking at a screen. They put these drops in my eyes that make my pupils massive so they could see right at the back, but it meant that it was really difficult to actually like see stuff, so I just sat there with my eyes closed for like 4 hours. I went in to see the specialist feeling better, and I was like, he's not going to see anything now my eye's not going like wacko. And they say like, come in tomorrow morning, we're going to do like an extensive peripheral vision to see exactly. And I started thinking, well, all that's going to do is tell you that, is tell you what I'm telling you now, that I can't see out the bottom. So then we're back to square one. I forgot to say, like, I'm walking into stuff, like anything, because I can't see my hand on the left hand side, I'm walking into lampposts, I'm walking into signs. So I kind of get myself home, back to the bus. I just have another whole afternoon of just eyes closed, just thinking this is helping. And the next day I wake up and I am feeling much better. My eye, even now, my left eye is still like, it's a bit of a blur. But essentially I was just like really scared for my health. I think I just put it down to, I think I just had my first migraine and it affected my sight really badly. Yeah, I got to a point where I was getting so worked up about stuff that I was losing my eyesight. which is really silly. It's really stupid. So I've spent the last, couple of weeks, like, I have had the job still on. I've had work still on. It's been really nice because I've had loads of songwriting jobs, but it's just been me and the guys I've been working with sort of sat around the piano, which is like back to my roots. And actually I think I've written my best songs this week, by far actually. I'm also now working with my friend Isaac Tyler, which you guys that have been around for a while, you'll know Isaac. I write my best songs with him. We're essentially like signing up to this songwriting agency who are working with some amazingly big artists. So that's an amazing thing to come out of it. I have my next endorsement has arrived. Rolly keyboards. So we've got a new endorsement. I met up with Dave Erasmus.
Yet thankfully I wonder more as the current takes my stub to shore. It seems I'm always taking the long way home, 'cause wherever you may go.
Since I've not been living in the woods and only been coming down here once a week, I've started finding these little spots of Corcovado, if you will, in my everyday life. Whether it be in my garden, sitting down, just listening to the birds, up on my local National Trust site, or out just walking this morning in the rain with my mate round the block. And it's just having that wandering sense and integrating this sort of mindset that we can find by coming into retreat into the woods. But actually it's about how we take that back into our daily lives and integrate that into our mundane routines that really, I think, makes the difference. And that's what my focus is. So yes, we have these spaces, and yes, it's wonderful to go to them. But the more interesting challenge and the thing that we really want to grapple with together whilst we're here is how the hell do we take this mindset, this wild mindset that goes beyond the modern social experiment, beyond the market, and try and take that back into those difficult places, those modern city type spaces.
Whatever you may do, I'll always be. Whoever you may see, however you may fly, I'm always there.
His nature is just incredible. So I spent the evening in the woods with him because he lives in the woods, and I'm directing a film for him in November on tour, which is the Swirl Tour. So that's the whole of November, directing my first film. And the big one, I'm coming off social media like properly, like weekly, until January. because I have a huge 6-month project that we've that myself and Dave have sort of planned out and talked through. I need to do 2 months of planning now, November and December. I'm still going to make the odd video just for like the love, if I'm feeling super inspired. New Year's Day, I'm going to drop a video that's going to explain the next 6 months, and you guys are going to come with me on a journey that is going to be incredible. I'm very excited for everything that I do, every confusement I've had with this channel, every direction that I don't feel I've had in the last sort of 6 months of my life has finally just gone ping, togetherness. And it's involving the bus, it's involving my songwriting, it's involving video making, it's involving traveling, it's involving collaborating, it's involving working with you. There's so many parts to it, and I'm very, very excited to release that to you. I just wanted to give you, I'm sorry this is quite long now, I just wanted to give you an update on everything that's been going on. I've just wanted to look after my health. I don't want to lose my eyesight just because I'm working too hard and overthinking things. I'm sure you guys can appreciate that, and I'm just really grateful that you're on the ride. My subscriber count is still going up somehow, so anybody that's new here, like, welcome to the journey, and I'm excited for you to be here. There's some big things planned, but I just need to look after my health for now. And until January the 1st, please look after each other. Stay safe. Follow my Instagram, because I'm going to be posting little videos on there still. And remember, never stop creating. Just be sensible with it. Right, Rolly, what have you got for me?